What's up, people? Joe Winko here, your favorite Hawaiian guy, and here's my next episode of Joe Winko Talk. So, this is definitely going to be somewhat of a personal episode of Joe Winko Talk. Nothing really morbid or gloomy, but I am going to be going over some X-rated stuff in this episode of Joe Winko Talk. So if you're under 18, please don't watch this episode. Just letting you guys all know. So, as you can tell from the title of this episode of Joe Winko Talk, I really cannot stand it when people call me sir. Like, as in when someone's talking to you and going like, oh, sir, hey, sir, yes, sir. I hate it when people call me sir. And I mentioned this in one of my previous episodes of Joe Winko Talk before, but I figured it was worthy of its own episode of Joe Winko Talk. And since the whole point of all my episodes of Joe Winko Talk is for you guys to get to know me and what goes on in my autism mind, I figured that I should do an episode of me explaining why I can't stand being called sir. So, first things first, I honestly don't really get called sir very often. Really, there's only two places where I've ever been referred to as sir, but the major one that comes to mind are a couple of the dating sites that I'm on, like FetLife and Space. And for those of you who don't know, FetLife and Space are these BDSM dating sites for like dominant people and submissive people who are like looking for relationships and everything. To be completely honest with you guys, like I kind of am into the BDSM stuff, but not really hardcore, really. I'm not into any freaky or gross stuff, honestly. I could do a whole episode about that later, but that's not what I'll be discussing in this episode. What I always notice is whenever I post on those websites, like I post that I'm a dominant male looking for a submissive male to be my lover and partner and everything. And as some of you may know, the whole reason why I signed up for the site FetLife and Space is because I was posting online telling everyone that I was looking for a boyfriend, but my sexuality is really weird. I'm only attracted to men, but I just don't like penis at all. I don't like sucking cock and I can't take it up the ass. So everyone was telling me that I should sign up for FetLife or Space and find a submissive boyfriend to be my lover and partner. So that's when I started signing up for FetLife and Space and when I started posting on there trying to find a lover and partner. And as you guys can see, obviously it didn't work out at all because I'm still alone and still single, as you guys notice. But whenever a guy messages me on FetLife or Space, they always call me sir. And in real life, the name sir, it's supposed to be a sign of respect. That's what people usually say, that when they call someone sir, it's a sign of respect. But I honestly can't stand being called sir at all. In real life, no one ever calls me sir. Like hardly anyone calls me sir. None of my YouTube followers call me sir, thank God. And none of the people I happen to run into in real life ever call me sir. Well, from time to time they do, but I'll be getting to that soon. The thing is, on FetLife and Space, I have guys who message me on those sites all the time and try talking to me and everything, and they always are extremely disingenuous. They tell me that they want to be my lover and partner, that they want to come live in Florida, and that they want me to live with them in Florida, and that they want us to be together, and that they want me to be their master. But the truth is, on FetLife and Space, it's mostly just people who are all talk and all fantasy. 100% of the guys I talked to on FetLife and Space were just all talk and all fantasy. Otherwise, I still wouldn't be here. I mean, some of them are really cool people, and some of them are really nice, and some of them didn't really stab me in the back at all. Like, some of them were just, like, upfront in the fact that we can't be with each other, and we just became friends who talked to each other instead. But the ones who would always message me and say, "Oh, Joe Winko, I want you to be my master and my lover and partner, and I want to be with you, and we can live in Florida together and everything." So far, 100% of the guys on FetLife and Collarspace and Blackman's Rain, another site that I used to be on, and everything, I'll have a link to my experience on that site in the pinned comments. So far, every single guy who has said that to me on any of those sites, all of them been all talk and fake, really. And it kind of pisses me off. The one thing that they all have in common is they always called me sir whenever they started talking to me. So that's the reason why I hate it when people call me sir, because it just kind of triggers a memory for me about how people are like really disingenuous and how people basically lied to me and used me to get off to their fantasies and everything. And it makes me angry, and I don't like being reminded of that. And it's even more fucked up because it's supposed to be a sign of respect, but the people who call me sir don't ever respect me at all. They're disingenuous and they're liars, and it makes me angry. The one person who I think of the most is Joey707 from Black Men's Reign, and I cannot stand Joey707 from Black Men's Reign. He was basically some guy who was supposed to take me to Connecticut. Not the same guy from my Connecticut heartbreak story, but this is a different guy. And he was just really disingenuous, and I explain it more in my experience on Blackman's Rain video that I'll have linked in the pinned comments if you want to know the full story behind that. Let's just say that I don't like him at all and that he made me really angry. But I don't even care though. But when people call me sir, that's honestly the first thing I think about, how disingenuous these guys who I talk to are, how disingenuous Joey707 was, and trust me, he's definitely not the only one. And I just hate being called sir, so I just never want anyone to call me that ever again. And that's not all either. That's not the only reason why. Now, on this one dating site that I used to be on until I was unfairly kicked off the site, Black Men's Reign, it's basically a site where, like, this is going to sound weird, but it's basically a site where all these gay guys are on it. It's a gay dating site, and apparently they act like black men are superior and everything, and I don't really believe that one race is more superior than another. I just want to let you guys all know. I think we're all equal in everything, but it's basically like a fetish site where they act like black men are superior. And I'm saying act because the guys on there who claim that they worship black men, they absolutely don't. They're very disingenuous and they're very disrespectful too. That's what I noticed. Everyone on the site Black Men's Reign were disrespectful and everything, and I have a lot more to say about that site. I plan on doing more episodes of Joe Winko Talk about it. But the submissive guys would always call the masters on that site, they would always call us sir. And the masters on that site, who they were worshiping, were African American men. But guess who else calls African American men sir? And guess who else also calls me sir? The cops do. And you guys know what cops do to African American men. I mean, really. Now, to be completely honest with you guys, I really don't get, like, harassed by police that often. I mean, I don't really go out that much. Yeah, I go on walks from time to time, and no cop ever comes up to me and harasses me. What I noticed is that the cops in Florida are actually a lot nicer than the cops in Wisconsin. Up in Wisconsin, the cops would always bug me and always harass me whenever they saw me walking the streets and everything. But in Florida, that doesn't really happen very often. It's Wisconsin and Las Vegas. Out of all places I've been to, those are really the only two places where cops ever harassed me and everything. And yeah, I was in Las Vegas back in summer of 2019. These strangers who I was talking to online sent me a bus ticket, well, really out to California to visit them, but we also went to Las Vegas too. And I did a couple of videos in Las Vegas, but I haven't finished editing those yet. As I said, I have a ton of footage from last summer that I haven't gotten to yet, but be on the lookout for it. It will be posted when it's ready. But I always just thought that was really strange how on Black Men's Reign, all the submissive guys who aren't black refer to the black guys who they worship and respect and everything, well, who they claim to worship and respect. They refer to all of them as sir, but no one made that connection that that's the same name that racist cops call black men before, like, killing them or shooting them or tasering them or kneeling on their necks and suffocating them to death. No one made that connection at all. And I just thought it was really weird how I was the only one that noticed that and how I was the only one that made that connection. I actually plan on making that a meme of a meme that says, "Don't call me sir," because that's the same name that racist police officers call me when they harass me on the streets, sir. So I really don't like being called sir at all. Like, if someone calls me mister, it's fine. I mean, I don't mind that at all. Like, I have one friend who I text from time to time and he calls me mister, and I kind of think it's funny, really, but I just don't like being called sir. It makes me mad and it triggers bad memories, really, and it triggers bad thoughts. And I just hate it when people call me sir, honestly. So that's basically it for this episode of Joe Winko Talk. It was kind of a short one, really, compared to my other ones. But I hope you guys all liked it. What do you think of people calling each other sir? And what did you think of what I explained in this episode of Joe Winko Talk and everything? I mean, if someone doesn't know my name, they should just ask me or say, "Hey, you in the red pointy bandana, what's your name?" I mean, seriously, I would like that a lot more. But whatever. So that's it for this episode of Joe Winko Talk. Please let me know what you think about all the stuff I talked about, because that's another major point of all my YouTube videos, to start a conversation with you guys, and I'll get back to you on that in the comments of this video. So yeah, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr. So that's it. Peace out, people.